Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G1, I hereby move that the board adjourn to executive session for the purpose of considering the employment of a public employee of the school district. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Dresker?
Yes.
And Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to take some time and honor somebody that's worked here since 2004. Lou Gallant has, I think he served as 19 years as the chief financial officer, and the last 3 in the role of HR and handling a lot of different things that have come across our plate here in the central office. During Lou's time here, he is a guy that is as steady as can be, really intelligent, and has an insight into business and finances that is probably second to none in the area of education. As I reflect on some of his strengths over the years, I've been fortunate to work with him for 16 years in different capacities and learn a lot from him. I want to highlight some of the things that I feel are his strengths and things that we really appreciate as a district. First off, in the area of financial leadership, I don't think that there's probably anybody that knows the history of Perry Finance better than Lou. If you look at, the history goes back probably before 1987, but in 1987 when the power plant started, we had our own unique history. And Lou has spent a lot of time understanding that history and advocating for our district, which has benefited thousands of students over the years because of what he's done on the advocacy part. When you look at, a lot of the different meetings I went through this year, the term that kept coming up was right sizing. So districts have made a big effort to really right size and make sure that their staffing levels are at the levels they need to be. Lou's been leading that process here for at least 16 years, and I think well before the time that I was here, making sure that our staffing levels are at the appropriate level. And while that never made Lou overly popular with certain staff, it was the right work to make sure that the money that we were blessed with could be sustained as long as possible. Another area that pops out to me is shared services. Once again, you travel around with me this year, you hear shared services. We need to do more of it within the county. It's been going on in this district for well over a decade, and a lot in transportation, maintenance and operations, food service. Lou led a lot of that work years ago in getting Perry on that ship, and once again creates efficiency and saves money, which allows it to spend more on our students. I talked a little bit about advocacy, but with our unique financial situation, Lou has spent a lot of time down in Columbus working with different legislators over the years, telling our story, advocating for our students and staff in our community, making sure that people know the story of Perry, which at one point had to shut its doors. Power plant comes on, deregulation, a lot of different variables are in there. If you ever want to hear the story, Lou's very good at telling that whole financial history. Next, operational leadership. He worked closely a lot with our director of maintenance and operation, food service, and transportation to make sure that everything was being run efficiently, that they had the supports that they were needed. He was often the sounding board for all 3 of those directors over the years, and they've been various directors of making sure that that their departments are running like as smooth as possible and as efficient as possible, once again, for our kids' sake. And then finally, one of the things he wrapped up and did a lot over the last 3 years was in the area of human resources. And he had done a lot of that work as a CFO, of sitting down with people when they're getting ready to go on a medical leave or retiring, and a lot of those things are big decisions that people are making in life. And Lou was the person that people would sit down with, and once again, Lou's ability to think critically, strategically, and plan out for the future is second to none. So we're very thankful. I know I'm very thankful personally and professionally to have worked with Lou. I've learned a lot myself, but ultimately, kids and community members may not always, know who the CFO is, but there's somebody behind the scenes doing a lot of work, keeping a lot of people out of trouble, and making sure that we're maximizing money to benefit our kids. So thank you, Lou, for your time and all the contributions that you've made to Perry Schools over the years. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to add? Or?
Yeah.
Thank you
I
for everything.
wanted them as my
financial advisor, if he was ever willing. And I think I would relate him to the, right in football, the quarterback and other positions get attention and the linemen often go unnoticed. In the school district, it's the CFO or the treasurer probably that goes unnoticed without, they're not the teacher, they're not the superintendent, they're not all those other parts, the bus drivers, the maintenance, all the people that work in the district, they're the behind the scenes, saying yes or no to things. So we might want to make sure we recognize that and appreciate all the things you've done for this district for so long to leave us in the situation we're in. Jen has some big shoes to fill. She knows that. She's been filling them.
And you did a great job training
Yes.
Ken
She
too.
does a great job.
She's ready. That's why. Yes.
The last 10 years.
Yeah, the amount of knowledge that you've shared and how willing you are to share your knowledge has been really appreciated. And I can say I've learned a lot and I've appreciate how you think things through. I don't think anyone realizes like how deeply and how much you think about things. Like, okay, we can do this, but like here's all the unintended consequences. And that's something that like I've learned a lot from you just in our conversations and working together of like, making sure you're looking at that next level to see what else might happen from your decisions. So I think I've learned a lot and I'm really grateful.
I don't need to repeat all the school stuff that everyone's praising you for, but on a personal note, I enjoy having the conversations, complaining about Cleveland sports with you, and talking Burton. So I appreciate those conversations outside of everything else you do for the district. So thank you.
Committee reports. Are there any committee reports? I'm just, as like legislative update from the legislative liaison this year, I think. There was in the county, they did vote last week at the commissioner's office to extend the homestead. And then they voted to get down the owner occupancy credit. So just that'll impact our finances somewhat. So, and also that the reasoning behind it at the meeting they discussed was that it was a good way to balance it out and give the seniors the break that they need. And there's some relief coming from the state in terms of our occupancy credit, so they could allow the districts to accept that funding. So year to year, it's going to be a year decision, but we do appreciate the commissioners that did sit down and take the time to meet with the schools and hear our story on what the impacts would be financially. So that's the update with that. Any other committees? Administrative update, Mr. Corso.
Thank you. Well, I think this is our first meeting since the end of the school year. I'd like to thank all of our parents, our students, our staff for another great year. May is a crazy month and we made it to the finish line and we had all the celebrations. And one thing that always sticks out in my mind as you wrap up the school year are the crossing of the bridge or the clap outs at each of the elementary and middle school and the number of parents that come out. And in having a conversation with the former administrator in this district, when you have more parents that outnumber the number of students crossing the bridge or doing that clap out, it's a sign of a great community. And we're blessed to all live and work here. And we're thankful for the support that we have from our community at those type of events. The other celebration that we had, congratulations to our student athletes and coaches who participated at the state track meet. Once again, our students represented at a high level. Emily Meckenbauer was the state champion in both the shot put and the discus, and I believe that now makes her a two-time shot put champion in both her freshman and sophomore year. So she still has 2 years left and is quite the shot putter and discus thrower, and is on the map nationally for her skill set. Next up, Traxton Richards. He was the state runner in pole vault. Despite not pole vaulting a lot throughout the year, he was able to overcome some injuries at the state meet and really performed well. So congrats to Traxton as well. And then the 4x100 team of Dayton Pike, Brody Krantz, Miles Osborne, and Alex Searson finished 7th and earned all Ohio honors. They had to overcome several rain delays and ran, I think, late Saturday night. So congrats to them. And then Hazel Cananan finished 8th in the 300 hurdles, also earning her all Ohio honors. So once again, a great performance by our track team down at the state meet. Congrats to Coach Richards and all of our athletes. And then finally, summer projects. It's pretty much that last day when students exit. Jim Smith has people on campus starting the projects. We have obviously all the cleaning and preventative things that happen every summer. But in addition to that, some of the things you'll see going on in campus, elementary school carpet replacement, middle school and high school painting, chiller restoration, mechanical system upgrades, concrete repairs, tennis court resurfacing, basketball court resurfacing, the outdoor basketball courts, district-wide crack filling and seal coating, installation of a new state-of-the-art stadium scoreboard, and installation of a new stadium sound system. So all those projects will happen between pretty much June 2nd and August 17th. And we thank all of our employees that are on campus over the summer, getting the schools ready for when our kids return on August 17th. So special thanks to Jim Smith and his staff for all the work that they do. So, and that concludes my administrative update.
Thank you, Mr. Porcello. Is there any public participation? Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Lydic?
Yes.
Mrs. Truxton?
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Attendance report.
Thank you. Item A, approval of extension signing bonus stipend. The board is asked to extend item 8, the signing bonus of the memorandum of agreement between OC and the Board of Education dated April 8, 2023 through the 26-27 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. Item B, personnel corrective action. The board is asked to approve the corrective action noted as recommended by the building principal, director of student services, and local superintendent. C, personnel, acceptance of resignation. The board is asked to accept the resignation from the individuals listed from the position noted as recommended by the local superintendent. D, personnel, approval of appointment, teacher leader. The board is asked to approve the appointment of the individuals listed below for the supplemental committee position indicated for the 26-27 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and director of innovation and learning. E, personnel, reasonable assurance, 26-27. The board is asked to authorize the chief financial officer to issue notice that the Perry Board of Education hereby gives reasonable assurance to the following individuals and proves that they are to be reemployed for the 26-27 school year as casual, daily, substitute supplemental employees as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. A provision of Ohio law permits substitute employees to be eligible for unemployment benefits. This action protects the district from unemployment claims from substitute employees. Item F, personnel, approval of appointment, occupational therapy assistant intern. The board is asked to approve the individual listed for the position indicated as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. Funds to be reimbursed to the district through the 21st CCLC grant funds. G, personnel, approval of appointment. The board is asked to approve the appointment of the individuals listed for the position indicated pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent. H, personnel, approval of appointment, 26-27 athletic supplementals. The board is asked to approve the appointment of the individuals listed for the 26-27 athletic supplemental positions and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, training, and background check, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. I, personnel, approval of appointment, athletic event worker. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the 26-27 event worker position and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, verification, proper licensure, training, and background check, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. J, personnel, approval of appointment, non-athletic supplemental. The board is asked to approve the individuals listed for the 26-27 non-athletic supplemental noted, as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. K, personnel, approval of appointment, curriculum hours. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed to complete the curriculum work at the rate of pay of $36 per hour and for the maximum number of hours indicated as recommended by the local superintendent and director of innovation and learning. L, personnel, approval of appointment, summer hours. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the summer hours at the per diem rate and for the maximum number of hours indicated to conduct required IDEA, Part C to IDEA, Part B transition assessments, meetings, and evaluations as recommended by the Director of Student Services and local superintendent. M, personnel, approval of appointment, independent study. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individual listed for the 26 summer independent study supplemental position and rate of pay indicated as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. N, personnel, approval of appointment, band camp. The board is asked to approve the individuals listed for the 26-27 band camp instructors as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. O, personnel, approval of appointment, band volunteers. The board is asked to approve the individuals listed as volunteers for band camp and away games for 26-27 school year, pending successful completion of background checks and certification as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. P, personnel, approval of appointments, mentors. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the new to district mentor position at the rate of pay indicated for the 26-27 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and director of innovation and learning. Q, personnel, approval of appointment substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for the 26-27 daily substitute positions listed pending successful completion of required appointment paperwork, verification of proper licensure, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent. R, personnel, approval of stipend. The board is asked to approve the stipend noted for the employee listed as recommended by the local superintendent and director of transportation. S, personnel, approval of extra driving time. The board is asked to approve the employment of the following bus operators for extra driving time to transport elementary and high school students to and from the summer academic program, one summer program student going to CARES, and bus cleaning as recommended by the local superintendent and director of transportation. T, approval of out-of-state field trip, New York. The board is asked to approve an out-of-state field trip for high school band and choir students to New York, from April 1st to April 4th, 2027, as recommended by the local superintendent building principal. This trip will be supervised by music department teachers Brad Ruska, Amanda McMurtry, Jeff Miller, and Beth Singer. There is no cost to the district for this trip. Item U, approval of 26-27 conferences. The board is asked to approve early dismissal for Perry Elementary and Middle School students as noted for 26-27 parent-teacher conferences as recommended by the local superintendent and building principals. Lunch will not be served on these days for students. V, substitute rates of pay for 26-27. The board is asked to adopt the updated rates effective August 1st, 26, as delineated unless otherwise dictate per current negotiated agreements, and authorize the chief financial officer to pay the higher daily substitute rate for continuation of services for those substitute employees who continue working in 12-month classifications as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. W, approval of resolution. The board is asked to approve the resolution listed recognizing the recipient of the 2026 Rick Amos Volunteer of the Year Award as recommended by the local superintendent. X, approval of policy first reading. The board is asked to consider the following revised board policy as a first reading for future action as recommended by the local superintendent. Draft policy is available for review below. Item Y, approval of policy second reading. The board is asked to adopt the new/revised board policy listed as recommended by the local superintendent. And this concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. Is there a motion to approve everything except for O
So moved. And D.
and E?
Do I need to remove myself from?
That's O.
As a vote? Oh, yeah, and I need E.
Okay, is there a motion for everything except for O and E?
So moved. I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, questions. Back to letter A. Sorry, Mr. Costello. Quick question, I'm just kind of confused on it. Can we talk about, because that agreement expires tomorrow, right, June 30th of 2026, but we're extending, so we're amending something that's expiring tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe that the original language of it said that it had to be acted on by the board in order to be able to extend it each year, correct?
So we're-
And looking at it, we still struggle to attract certain OC positions. So we're hopeful to keep it in place to attract qualified candidates.
So should it say that we're extending it then to when?
No, we just go ahead and do it for next year at this point, through the end of next year. So you're approving it.
I didn't think it said that.
And through the 26-27 school year.
It was an MOA agreed upon in November of 23, and then at this point of the agreement, the board has to take action on it. We have 2 years left on our agreements, so we'd have to do it for this year and then 1 more year, then we would negotiate again at that point.
We typically would have done it like in August or September, but it got missed for this, for 25, 26.
Okay, so we're keeping the same agreement intact for the 26-27 school year?
Yeah.
That's the plan then? Right?
That's what we're recommending.
Yeah, this is just the MOA portion.
That's
from
what I wanna make
November
sure.
23, not the whole. There was a 2-year proposal at some point that, yeah, this is a
Okay.
special piece of
So
it.
just this piece,
Mhm.
okay. And then on letter U, the, we talked about the half days.
Sure.
And we had said we were never doing half days ever again.
Right, so we do no longer have half days at the end of the semesters per the agreed upon proposal that was out there. The half days for parent-teacher conferences have been around a long time. Because of need, they have enough time slots to actually get parents in. In order to be able to do it at the elementary, middle school, we do have to dismiss from that 12 to 12 at one building and 12:30 at the other.
Just want to make sure it's clear to the community about why they still.
And I would know that the middle school only does it in the fall, not in the spring, and that's based on numbers. We typically see a greater demand for what parent-teachers, or parents signing up for the conferences in the fall. So we only do the half day in the fall for middle school.
To be clear, we did eliminate 2 half days.
Correct.
The
Yeah,
one
which
at
will
the
start
end
of the
for the
semester.
26, 27
I just
school
want to make sure that's understood and that it's out there that we did eliminate 2 half days.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Presser,
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Granger.
Yes.
Is there a motion for item O?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Presser,
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy, abstain. Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
and Mrs. Granger.
Yes.
Is there a motion for item E?
Second.
Roll call, or any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Presser,
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Granger.
Abstain.
I'm sorry, who, motioned that? I motioned.
Then
on
Jesse
that, yes.
seconded.
And then, Mr. Frisbee, you have an addendum?
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Item A, personnel approval of appointment 26-27 athletic supplementals. The board is asked to approve the appointment of the individuals listed for the 26-27 athletic supplemental positions and rate of pay indicated pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. And this concludes my addendum, superintendent's report.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sealy,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Presser.
Yes. Then we're at Mrs. Capo, your chief financial, is that where we're at? Sorry, yeah, there's so many pages. Chief financial officer of the board.
Thank you. A, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial reports for May 2026 as recommended by the chief financial officer. B, approval of annual credit card report, reward report. The board is asked to approve the fiscal year 26 annual credit card reward report as recommended by the chief financial officer. C, approval of transfers and advances. The board is asked to approve the following fund account transfers and advances as recommended by the chief financial officer. D, approval of appropriations. The board is asked to approve the revised fiscal year 26 and the initial fiscal year 27 appropriations listed as recommended by the chief financial officer. D, approval of payment in lieu. The board is asked to approve payment in lieu of transportation for the students listed during the 26-27 school year as noted below, as recommended by the chief financial officer and the transportation director. This resolution to declare transportation impractical for certain identified students is presented pursuant to the requirements of Ohio Revised Code Section 3327 and the procedures set forth by the Ohio Department of Education. The resolution follows careful evaluation of all other available options prior to the consideration of impracticality. F, approval of insurance. Highland. The board is asked to approve the policy resolution and renewal of Highland Insurance, Ohio school plan coverage for liability, violence, auto, and property insurance at a rate of $226,550, inclusion at a rate of $478, and the TMHCC individual cyber policy at a rate of $3,921 for a period July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027, as recommended by the chief financial officer. G, approval of contracts and agreements for airport shared services. The board is asked to approve an agreement with Fairport Harbor Exempted Village School District for shared EMIS coordination services effective July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. H, approval of contracts and agreements with Wycliffe Shared Services. The board is asked to approve an agreement with Wycliffe City School District for shared fiscal services effective August 1, 2026 through July 31, 2029, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. I, approval of contracts and agreements, Signature Health Incorporated. The board is asked to approve an agreement with Signature Health Incorporated for short-term student assistance programming and ongoing clinical services for the 26-27 school year as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer and Director of Student Services. J, approval of contracts and agreements with Center for Autism. The board is asked to approve, it says revise, it should be renewal, the renewal facility use agreement with Footprint Center for Autism from August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2029, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. K, approval of contracts and agreements, Industrial Appraisal Company. The board is asked to approve an agreement with Industrial Appraisal Company to conduct an appraisal for fixed asset accounting, control, and insurance valuation purposes for $25,800, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. L, approval of contracts and agreements, education alternatives. The board is asked to approve the 26-27 educational alternative services agreement for specialized academic and therapy services for students as deemed necessary by their team, as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. Cost of the program is $37,310 per student, and the district is billed monthly for these services. M, approval of expenditure, Staples Chromebooks. The board is asked to approve an expenditure in the amount of $80,017 to Staples for 175 Lenovo Chromebooks and Google licenses for education, as recommended by the Director of Technology and the Chief Financial Officer. These devices will be for kindergarten and first grade students in 26-27. Approval of expenditures, Subject Technologies Incorporated. The board is asked to approve and purchase in the amount of $17,000 to Subject Technologies Incorporated for digital curriculum, as recommended by the building principal and the Chief Financial Officer. The digital platform will be used for enrichment, credit recovery, and support of health curriculum. Cost for this curriculum will be paid for with the 21st CCLC grant. And this concludes my Chief Financial Officer's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Gable. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just one question, are the devices for first and second, or for kindergarten and first grade going home with them?
No,
Okay.
It's my understanding, just to make sure we're clear, that was my understanding that it was just, we're not going to do increased use of devices, but that's to have a classroom set so that when the teachers decide to use the devices, that they're available. But we're not all day on devices.
Yeah, it's not a significant chunk of time throughout the course of the day, but the access to them is still needed, and it's something that we plan on studying as a leadership team with a variety of stakeholders throughout the year of screen time and what's the right amount at a school level. So it's on our radar.
And so more so that when they go to get their devices available, when they decide to use it and it's already logged in, so you don't have the time of trying to.
And what's the longevity on those?
5 to 6 years.
And then the credit card rewards, does that just go into the general fund or how is that?
yeah, that just goes in the general fund. It's just, the auditors require us to report on that every year.
It's income, yeah.
And then I had a question with the Signature Health Switch. What are we using exactly? What are they doing again? What's going to fall under their purview? What services, I guess, is the words I'm looking for. Are they providing us?
It's the school-based counselor.
Okay.
So the person, the actual physical person is here 5 days a week, connecting with students, and that might be one-to-one, counseling services, group therapy, it might be preventative services. Sometimes they act as a liaison in families and behavioral health centers.
Okay.
So we've had a long-standing relationship with Crossroads.
Right.
Providing that service. So Signature will essentially duplicate those services. It really won't look very different.
Okay. Are they, I guess,
Replacing or duplicating? They're
replacing
They're
Crossroads?
replacing.
Yeah.
Jim, you want to talk about how the funding shifted
Yeah.
a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, and this started happening probably about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We used to enjoy a really healthy financial relationship with Crossroads because they were receiving a lot of the services they were providing to us were being reimbursed to them through the Adams Board. And they then were issuing that reimbursement. So it was sort of a really great system. And slowly over the last 2 to 3 years, the Adams Board has started to limit the services that they would permit Crossroads to do, that they would be able to obtain reimbursements for. And so our services continue to get more expensive. And then in the spring, I received communication from the Adams Board that they had pulled what they call them their reimbursable rates. They had pulled them entirely from Crossroads. And they were pretty transparent with us about why they were doing it. It had to do with corporate and financial instability. They were really concerned as a regional partner with Crossroads' ability to continue to provide those services while they were potentially pursuing mergers with national or international organizations. So they moved their reimbursable rates exclusively to Signature Health. Crossroads really wanted to be able to continue to partner with us, so they provided an option that would permit them to do so at a rate that was competitive, but it would have required them to sort of chase our family's personal health insurance for reimbursable rates, as opposed to the relationship that our families have enjoyed, which is the way it's supposed to be, which is sort of like no barriers. Let's just get your kiddo exactly what they need. And the Adams Board felt compelled to move those rates exclusively to Signature Health. And so the cost difference between the contracts is, we've just been really irresponsible. So Signature has come really strong. They've got a really prepared program that they're actively looking to implement. So it's a replacement. It's not an in addition to.
Okay. And do you know, so along with the services that they will provide us, I guess specifically, do you know, I mean, do they do like testing? I mean, like STD testing, things like that. Does that stuff fall under their purview at all that you know of? And I'm only asking this question because I know in other school districts, they have, without the parents' knowledge and consent, like tested for like STDs for students and, given pregnancy tests, Plan B stuff, and the parents have had no knowledge of it. I just want to make sure that nothing is gonna get under our noses.
Yeah, no, we don't. There are definitely school districts that have, sometimes with those larger medical providers, they have like a variety of services
Right.
available. Like you have like an on-campus health center,
Yeah.
where you have a nurse or a nursing assistant. We don't have any of those sorts of relationships.
Okay.
This is strictly a school-based counselor.
Perfect. I just want to make sure we weren't
That is
deceiving anybody. So, okay, awesome.
absolutely not.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think you're referring to the ones like in districts where they have a family resource center.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where anybody can go utilize them, almost like a doctor's office on
Sure.
campus.
Yeah.
And it runs through the family's insurance or however they choose to utilize it. I'm assuming that's what is going on where you're referring to.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna slip under
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and of course, those services fall well within the Ohio Parent Bill of Rights. Adding those services, students accessing those services, it's considered a change in student services.
Okay.
It requires parent notification. So we don't like surprises for our families.
Yeah, I don't either. So,
We're committed, for sure.
awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would like to go back to M as well. I just want to let everybody know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Jen, these Chromebooks, we already have in our long-term forecasting and our plans, the timing of when we're rotating through. It's different classes in different years. So this is something that we already forecasted for. We budgeted for, we knew was coming because of that rotation, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Jim, thanks for keeping up on that and keeping with the wellness committee was informed and
Appreciate it.
of the change, and appreciate you protecting our students and our finances.
Sure, and we're wellness committee, we'll pick up that work when we start back. We'll connect, probably the first agenda has us sitting down with that signature representative. We'll get you guys looped in with it.
Thanks, Jen.
Any other discussion? Roll call please.
Mrs. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Leonard?
Yes.
And I'm just giving you an addendum.
A approval of expenditure Carter lumber. The board is asked to authorize an expenditure of $17,500 to Carter lumber using CTE grant funds to purchase new cabinets for the home renovation house, as recommended by the chief financial officer and building trustee.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? James, who had that?
All of us.
Yeah,
I think I was,
Yeah.
you were.
yep, I'll step back, I'm
As
good.
long as you're for it. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes,
Mrs. Tresker,
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy.
Yes.
Yeah, and we can do that under,
What's
I
that?
didn't know if this was the time to do it. We're gonna do it.
sure, I mean, we
Just an
can,
update on the house.
yeah, it's unfinished business, I suppose. So is there any updates on the house flip project?
Well, we still have a year left in the house, because I know that's always a big deal, is like, what's the timing on it? And we have a year's worth of learning, which is great, because it's really a learning lab for our kids. I haven't been in the house within the past couple months. Scott, do you have any?
It's been about a couple months for me as well. Mr. Zuzi and I meet monthly. He's very pleased with our progress. There's plenty of work to do for the kids next year, but we'll also be done on time.
I went through it in the end of April and it looks great. Everything, the flooring still has to go in and the new drywall is up, but then the next thing they were doing was flooring paint.
And what you saw, the item you just approved, we had some remaining grant money that needed to be earmarked by June 30th. So it's always great when we can have some grant money. This was some out of the CTE grant that we used a lot of it for the automation robotics lab, and able to also use it in this area because it's in the name of CTE, so very helpful.
Will we be able to do anything with the old cabinets that are being removed?
Yeah, look into that. Not sure the exact state of them.
I think they were in some shape. Oh, and what Ryan, Mr. Zuzi had mentioned, they were gone when I went in there.
Okay. Any other unfinished business? We have not heard anything else from the data center yet, so there's no pilot proposal or anything, so that's just the update on that. The update is there is no update. Any new business? Correspondence and announcements. The district will be closed Friday, July 3rd for Independence Day. The next regular Board of Education meeting is scheduled, let's go over that really quickly. We do have a meeting scheduled for July 7th. Did we want to keep that meeting or were we going to cancel that? I don't think we have, with as much business as we've done today, I don't think there's a lot for next week. Is anyone opposed to canceling that meeting? Okay, so then we'll cancel the meeting for July 7th, and then the next board meeting would end up being,
Well, we have a work session on the books for the 27th of July,
okay,
which Jen and I aren't able to make it because we're on our leadership retreat.
I also will be out of town.
So will I.
Okay, so let's cancel that one as well, unless anyone's opposed to that, and then the next meeting will be August
August 10th.
10th.
And if anything pops between now and then,
We
which
can
is
call a
possible, we
meeting.
can call a meeting.
Typically, July is a pretty, knock on wood, I don't know why I said that out loud, anyways. So the next regular Board of Education meeting will be August 10th at 5:45 PM in the Travis Center Conference Room. Is there any other public participation? Okay, so pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 12122G8, I'll entertain the motion to enter into executive session to consider confidential information related to negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance, and that it is necessary to protect the possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with the economic development project. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sealy,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
yes.
Mrs. Tresker.
Yes, there will be no additional business done after executive session.